Hi guys and welcome to today's video. So as some of you may know, I went to the United States 2 years ago as part of my master program to study forestry in the best state of all, Oregon. As you can probably imagine, you don't just show up at the airport one day hoping they will let you in. Nope, not at all, that doesn't work. You have quite a lot of preparation and administration papers and stuff to get through. So today I thought it could be cool if I recreate, to the best of my abilities, my journey to the USA. Chapter 1 probably, as it's a long story. So in order to get there, you need to be part of an exchange program, and for me it meant two things basically. A, being a good student, like academically good student, and B, having an English level certification. Most countries will be fine with a TOEIC, but the US and some other countries requires you to get a TOEFL. For the TOEFL test, it is usually fine if you get 80 points out of 120, but for some reason OSU, the college that I was applying to, requires 90. So I needed to do extra well on this test. Now the TOEFL test has the reputation, at least in France, to be extremely hard. It has speaking and talking. Yes, good job, Mel. Speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And it lasts like 4 hours, I think. It was super long. I was so hungry at the end. But that's not the point. Point is, everyone I knew that needed to take the test were freaking out. Like, they were reading books on how to nail your TOEFL, doing extra classes in English, like during lunch break, to train specifically for TOEFL type questions, and they were freaking out. Now, as I tend to do with literally anything that stresses me out ever, I blocked it away and didn't think about it until one of my friends was taking the test for like a mock test. She was passing a mock test. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And I saw her freaking out about not even the real test. So I was like, okay, I really do need those 90 points. Maybe I should start reviewing. So I got one of those How to Nail Your TOEFL Tests book. I registered for like an additional English class in between the lunch breaks, and I lasted maybe 2 weeks because no one could speak English in that classroom, and I didn't feel like I was progressing in English. So I dropped out of that. Didn't open the How to Nail Your TOEFL book because I just forgot about it until last minute panic hits me. So here we are, January 13th of 2014, and I haven't done anything to prepare. And this is the day before I'm supposed to take the test. I had an internal breakdown, not that internal now that I think about it. I was at my sister's place because I had to take the test in Grenoble, so I was staying with her. And I panicked. I was like, oh my god, what if I don't get those 90 points? I should have prepared, and I was beating myself up. So I went to take the test with 20 other people who spent half an hour before the test talking about how ready they were and how they've done every exercise ever to prepare. And then it started. What would you do if you had a day in a foreign city? Express yourself for 90 seconds, starting after the beep. If I had a day in a foreign city, I would explore it because I like exploring. I think it's how you explore a new city the best, just by walking around in the city and exploring the streets. I would spend the day walking around and visiting a city. Yep, that actually happened. And it's actually the only part I remember from this day, which is how incredibly awkward I was answering that question. But the thing is, it's not really my fault. I was obviously stressing out, so I couldn't speak English as well as I usually can. Not that I'm perfectly fluent in English anyway, but I was in this weird like circle like desk, and so 4 computers were like this. So we were basically next to each other but without seeing the other person's screen. And everyone had headphones and a microphone to record their answer. But I could hear like the volume was so low on my headphones, or I don't know. They were not good at cancelling noise. and I could hear the girl next to me answer her question before hearing the question because I clicked start maybe 2 minutes after her because we had a timer saying like get ready, test starting in blah blah blah, and then a timer, and I didn't click start. I didn't knew you could click start ahead of the timer, and she did. So she was ahead by like one question, so I could hear her answer. And basically, to come back to this exploring the city question, I was listening to her while I was waiting for the next question, and I heard her talking about exploring city. Anyway, fast forward a few weeks, and this came in the mail. I had passed my TOEFL. Not only I had passed my TOEFL, I had got the 90 points that I was required to get to OSU. So I was incredibly relieved. But not only did I got 90 points, I got 108 points out of 120, successfully beating the current record for my school, which had been standing for 3 years, I think. So I was quite proud of that. With this precious piece of paper and a bunch of transcripts and other stuff that I don't remember, I was able to apply to OSU, and after a long month of waiting, I got an acceptance letter. So I was in. I was one of the 2 French students selected to go to OSU that year, out of the 4 schools that were concerned by this exchange program, not out of the entire country of France, which would have been much more difficult to get to. But yeah, I was in. I was feeling so good because the other student that got through as well was one of my good friends, so I was super excited, but I still had a lot to get through in order to get there. Tune in next week for the next chapter of the story. If you want to be notified so that you don't miss it, you can click on my channel, which is over there. Or in the meantime, if you want to watch another video, you can click here. That will take you to last week's video, not next week's video, because it's not out yet. I hope you'll have a great week, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye!